From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is The Night Beat.
Good evening, I'm Danielle Shenk with your headlines for Tuesday, February 25th. Before we dive into changes Nebraska organizations are making in response to President Trump's policies, we begin with a close call in the skies. A Southwest Airlines flight from Omaha had a near miss with a private jet while landing at Chicago's Midway Airport this morning. The flight departed Epley Airfield at 7:30 a.m. and during descent just before 9, a private jet crossed the runway. CNN reports the pilot quickly performed a go-around maneuver to avoid a collision, later landing without further incident. The FAA is now investigating. Back in Nebraska, the Broken Bow Fire Department has canceled all burn permits after multiple wildfires broke out across Custer County on Monday. Crews are working to control the flames, and a new fire from a tree pile east of town has been contained. 2 firefighters were hospitalized after their truck rolled off a canyon, with one already released. Shifting gears to the state capitol, lawmakers are considering a bill to boost protections for meatpacking and poultry workers. According to the Nebraska Examiner, the bill would require disaster plans for workers and the food supply and mandates full compensation for injuries during crises like disease outbreaks or weather disasters. Some senators believe the changes will protect workers, secure the food supply chain, and lower egg prices. Meanwhile, University of Nebraska leaders addressed the legislature's Appropriations Committee today, which is considering a 2% cut to university funding to help address a nearly $500 million shortfall. The proposed cut would save about $171 million, but university leaders, including President Jeffrey Gold, are advocating for a 3.5% increase, emphasizing the university's economic impact, with each dollar invested returning $10 to the state. And staying with the university, the Board of Regents is reviewing policy changes to align with federal DEI directives after a memo from the Department of Education warned schools could lose funding for noncompliance. Proposed revisions include updates to equal opportunity employment, admission standards, and tuition policies, with a continued review scheduled for the board's next meeting on April 11th. In other education-related news, the Nebraska School Activities Association has announced it will comply with President Trump's directive to ban transgender athletes in women's sports. The NSAA's 8-member board unanimously voted to scrap its 9-year-old policy that allowed trans athletes to compete under certain criteria. Lastly, an inspiring story from Palmyra. Bettie Chambers, who has experienced seizures since 4th grade due to epilepsy and later battled a brain tumor, triumphed over these health challenges to become a state champion high school wrestler.
I'm more than just epilepsy, and I'm more than just the brain tumor. That does not define me. Performing in all of the sports and activities that I do to the best of my ability helped me find my self-worth.
In the weeks before state, Bettie had her first seizure in 2 years but still competed, finishing a 49-2 season with a gold medal. She has partnered with the Team Jack Foundation and plans to wrestle at Doane University. How awesome is that? Rounding out your night beat is a check of the 7-day forecast.
You've been listening to The Night Beat. Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.